Midwinter in the Netherlands, 30 miles west of Amsterdam, Wijk is just your typical seaside resort. For most of the year, it's a quiet place, but every January it's transformed into the world centre of chess, courtesy of the Tata Steel Tournament.
First edition was back in 1938.
It's our so-called Wimbledon of Chess. Many world champions played here.
The level of the tournament is so strong.
We all know that in Jan we always have Wijk, so we look forward to it.
As a kid, you don't really know that it's a small village. You think this must be some sort of a big place, you know? Okay, you hear of like London has Big Ben and Wijk has a tournament, so you think like it's something huge. But then it turns out it's not really something huge, it's just a village. But for a chess player, very meaningful.
Tata's not so much a tournament as an institution, attracting the world's best players. 14 in the Masters event, 14 in the Challengers competition. Not to mention the 1,700 amateurs who turn up to play during the 16-day event.
Why do chess players come to a tiny village when it's cold and rainy and stormy and sometimes it's -0? Well, that's a good question, but that's also the charm of this tournament, that we are all together in this tiny village and all the restaurants, all the bars are full with chess players, both amateurs and professionals, and that makes it also a bit of a cozy atmosphere.
Winning Tata takes nerves of steel. The Masters play 13 classical matches, many lasting deep into the evening. That requires preparation, concentration and stamina.
It's certainly very challenging. This is a huge psychological pressure on every player. And halfway you can just feel like you are overexhausted, and I try to work physically, mentally to stay calm during the entire tournament.
I think in this long tournament, physically you have to be energetic to play all the 13 games well. That's why this is like one of the toughest tournaments in the calendar. You have to focus on every part, like not just the game, but also you have to focus on the preparation, which also takes like 3-4 hours.
This year's lineup featured a who's who of grandmasters, including new world champion Gukesh D and 2024 winner Wei.
The lineup is always kind of a puzzle. I'm always looking for some interesting players, fighters, they are very important. I need some players from the top 10. I need some players from the top 20. I will never invite the numbers 1 to 14 of the world. That would be the strongest tournament ever, because they are too strong and the tournament could be boring because too many draws. They cannot beat each other.
It's such a nice mix that you don't get always the best correct play. You often get more exciting, attacking games, then suddenly someone starts leading and someone else has to catch up. So I have always found this tournament to be so much fun to cover. Never ever has it become like a draw fest where everyone are just, splitting points and making it boring. Tata Steel Chess does a brilliant job of starting the year on a high note.
While the Grandmasters battle it out for the main prize, the tournament also includes amateur competitions and a Challengers event.
When organizers say me about the invitation, I'm very happy. It's a very famous tournament in the world, and I can't wait when I go to this tournament, and very exciting to play.
When I came here last year, I had no idea how brutal it was going to be. It was such a wake to the reality because I was beaten left and right, and the wind and the weather, everything was so hard to deal with. So this year I had a better idea of what I'm getting myself into.
It's a great opportunity for me to play these great players and get some experience. Since I'm also very young, it's very prestigious. There are some spectators watching, which is different from my other tournaments, and I might get a little nervous, but this tournament is really hard. I'm having some serious opponents and I have to work like 5-6 hours every day. It's a bit tiring, but I'm kind of used to it already.
As well as the players packing the community centre, the local cafes are also rammed with people playing chess and enjoying live commentary of matches. All curious to find out who will be their 87th champion.
I do vividly remember being on the other side for many years, maybe from 10 till 15 or something. And I remember like the big crowds and trying to squeeze in, especially during the weekends when there's so many fans coming from all over the Netherlands and even from all over the world. It was really something special. I never thought I would win even when I qualified to the master group because I was one of the underdogs. And at the time Carlsen was playing Caruana, so it was really a strong field as always. But somehow everything came together that year, and it's never easy.
A few days ago I was scrolling some comments and I saw a comment which put everything into perspective. There was a guy who wrote, "You've played so many times and you only won once," you know, so it's always relative, really.
It's my biggest achievement in my chess career. I hope I can score good, but maybe not easy, because my opponent, they are stronger than last year even.
Winning this would be such a big thing, but you just have to take one game at a time, and here every player is capable of having a great tournament and eventually winning it, so you can't take any game lightly. You have to be focused throughout, so you can't really be thinking about like winning the event while you're playing.
Praggnanandhaa led the first half of the tournament before new world champion Gukesh surged ahead. The pair ended up tied after 13 rounds, but Pragg kept his head in the blitz tiebreaker to secure the biggest win of his career, champion of the Wimbledon of Chess.